Hi, Claire Maxfield here, and happy Friday the 13th. Bet you weren't expecting to hear from me today. Well, it was only yesterday when I was thinking, oh, tomorrow's Friday the 13th and I'm travelling. I wonder what other superstitions are out there that got me thinking about the fears and phobias and superstitions that not so much surround Friday the 13th, but maybe that without me even realising a lot of my clients deal with. And through helping them with their image, I managed to help them through them. But let me just give you a little bit of a background very quickly on Friday the 13th, because this astounded me. It around the Middle Ages, it started brewing when they were talking about the Last Supper and Christ, and he had 13 at the table. It was held on a 13th, but it was actually a Thursday. But it was the day before Good Friday, which wasn't so good in the end. And that started rolling this Fridays, 13s into a story. And then it was early this century, Thomas Lawson wrote a book called Friday the 13th. And in it, there was a whole Wall Street market crash on the 13th based on the superstition. And it made me think, well, what came first? It was like the chicken and the egg, the superstition or the crash. Was it, what ended up happening? And then there's also a thought that due to Philip IV of France rounding up a lot of the Knights Templar and arresting them, might have had something to do with that. All I know is today we all live with a lot of fears and phobias. So I thought I'd share with you some of the stranger fears and phobias that I have to help my clients through, and I do help them through as an image consultant. For a start, there's the decidophobia. Yes, it's a phobia. It's like, should I buy this or this? What looks right? And from that, do you know that there's an interesting phobia? The catatropophobia. And that is it's a fear of mirrors. Now, Pamela Anderson has this, and it's not so much they look at a mirror and go, oh, it's a mirror. It's their reflection. They see themselves distorted in the mirror, which isn't good. Another one, it's the glossophobia. Glossophobia is the fear of public speaking. It actually comes number 13 in the top 100 of speaking fears. And from that, a lot of my clients, if they have a fear like of agoraphobia, going out, I can help them with looking better. That when they go through these fears, they're actually supported in the right way. But when I started looking at it, there's vestiaphobia out there, people who are afraid of clothes. Now, life must be really tough for them because clothes are kind of part of our everyday life. There are chromophobias. Billy Bob Thornton's one. They're afraid of bright colours. I'm guessing his life is fairly deep and muted. There's kumaponophobia. That was a fun one to learn. That's a fear of buttons. So people who have kumaponophobia, they will wear things that slide over their head or do up with zips or do up with ties. Now, I mentioned before the chromophobia. There's also a lot of people that have phobias to specific colours. Xanthophobia is one. It's the fear of yellow. But another phobia that I often deal with my clients, and it's often not given this name, but it's geraskophobia. And that's a fear of getting old. It's that elusive elixir of youth that people are always looking for. But as with all things, there's always the funny little ones you weren't expecting when you go through. And omphalophobia, that's a fear of belly buttons. I don't know if they're afraid of their own or other people's, so I don't know whether they get out of the shower and have to go, oh, and hide their belly button, or they're just on the beach and go, don't show me your belly button. And then it's Lengozzi phobia. And because I thought for sure there's a phobia for zips. Well, there is, but it's a phobia of getting your lips caught in zips. Didn't even want to think too much about that. So, happy Friday the 13th. And I hope you are not a paraskevidecatria phobe. Because that means you're afraid of Friday the 13th. Claire Maxfield from Claire Maxfield Image. Bye.